What's up, guys? Welcome to the latest What If episode, and today we're taking a look at what if the Boston Bruins acquired Jacob Trouba. So I think this is the first one that we're doing a kind of a futuristic projection here, guys. And I just want to tell you, I did not trade any member of the Boston Bruins starting lines, I guess, because I don't think Boston wants to give up a lot of their core members of their team. You know, they might give up a guy like Spooner, but I wouldn't see them giving up much more. Pastrnak is off the table, definitely. Hayes, all these guys, I don't see them giving up anybody who's a core member of their team. And same thing on defense. Now, the Boston Bruins have been playing pretty terribly recently. I think they've lost 4 in a row. Now, the excuse is, guys, their goaltending's been pretty terrible. I mean, they're down to their 3rd and 4th goaltender. So that's understandable, but there's no question that the Boston Bruins defense has definitely been unacceptable. Now, Chara's 89 rating is, I don't know, mind-boggling. The guy can't skate, is 39 years old. He's a top 4 to top 6 defenseman. How the fuck is he rated 89? I really do not understand this. Trouba's 86 rating, I think that's fair. He's a pretty good defenseman. Torrey Krug, 85, I think that's a little harsh. Then you got McQuaid, Miller. So Colin and Kevin. And you also got John Michael Lyles and Joe Morrow, which are both scratched right now. But basically the situation is in Boston is they got one top pairing defenseman in Torrey Krug, and he's not playing super well. He's coming off surgery, I think last season or in the off season, and I think it's going to take him another 5 games or so to pick up the pace. But I know he's a great player, so I'm not too scared of it. I think he is going to pick up the pace. He's just making me a little worried for my fantasy team, but that's about it. Zdeno Chara is like a top 4 defenseman. He's not a top pairing defenseman anymore. I'm sorry for all you Bruins fans who love him. He was a great player. At this point, he's just a good player, but he still does have a few good years left. And that's about it for Boston. The rest of their defensemen are like bottom pairing defensemen. I mean, Miller, both of them, McQuaid, Michael Lyles, and Morrow are not bad defensemen. They're just not top pairing material or even top 4 material. They're all guys that can play in the NHL, but they're just getting way too many minutes as a group as opposed to what they should be getting. So, I mean, Boston definitely has a legitimate shot with Trouba. Now, guys, I left in Tuukka Rask in there. We've got no idea how long it's going to take him to come back, but I'm guessing he should be back soon. So, I think if Boston does pull off this trade, in my opinion, they're definitely a contender to make the playoffs. They're going to be, in the bubble. They might finish a little short. They might actually make it, guys. But they definitely hope they can get Tuukka Rask back soon, guys. Because regardless of the Trouba trade, if Tuukka Rask doesn't come back anytime soon, the Boston Bruins will not make the playoffs. I mean, Subban hasn't been good. McIntyre was... I mean, you could say he was okay and the defense was terrible. You could say he was terrible and the defense was okay. You can, flip these arguments if you want. And then you got Khudobin, who's just a backup, an average backup. And he can't carry the load for a full 82 games. He can maybe give you a few games here and there, but they definitely need Tuukka Rask, who's the elite netminder on this team. I do believe Tuukka Rask is an elite goaltender. He is something special, guys. He's probably one of the top 10 goalies in the league, and the Boston Bruins clearly need him. They're actually 3-0 when he's in net, even with the defense they have. So that's it, guys. I'll see you guys once the season is over, and we'll see if the Boston Bruins do qualify for the playoffs. What's up, guys? And the sim is complete. Boston fails to make the playoffs, even with Jacob Trouba. They finish 11 points away from the playoffs. Ouch. That is pretty far away from a playoff berth, actually. They played around 500 all year. Let's take a look at some stats for Bergeron. He gets 67. Not a bad year for Pastrnak, but the way he's started, I'm expecting him to get like 60 points. Spooner actually does pretty decent. David Backes doesn't have a great year for them, but he's 32 years old, so they can't expect too much from him. Bolesky needs to produce a little more than that. Dominic Moore goes off with 28 points. That would be really appreciated if Dominic Moore gets 28 points. Riley Nash, not a bad year also. Koklachev, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, actually has a really decent year with 31 points. Morrow is playing forward for some reason. He's got 10. Peter Mueller played a bit because of the injuries. Zach Ronaldo doesn't have a single point. Ouch. On defense now, Zdeno Chara, who's still rated 89 for some reason, has got 30 points. Wow, that's pretty good. Jacob Trouba with only 14 in 81 games. Wow, I do believe the Bruins are hoping for a lot more from him. 14 points, that would be not acceptable. I know he's not an offensive defenseman, but still 14 points. 32 from Torrey Krug, that's not too bad. McQuaid not producing much, he's a defensive guy. Miller not much, and Miller number 2 not much. So that's about it for these guys. Let's take a look in front of the net. Tuukka Rask only played 45 games, so he still got injured in the sim. He still got injured, sorry here. He won 20 games and lost 17, allowed 113 goals on a 2.6 goals against average, which isn't bad. 913 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Not a bad year for Tuukka, not a great year. Khudobin ended up playing a lot, and he went 12 and 16, despite only allowing 2.8 goals a game, which is actually pretty high, but having a 916 save percentage, which is really good, guys. So I think it really shows off the main weakness of the Boston Bruins. It's this defense. Regardless of the fact that they have Jacob Trouba, they're still weak on D. Now, I do think Jacob Trouba would help him a lot, and I do think Torrey Krug is going to pick up his play in a few games. Most certainly offensively, because that's where he's been struggling a little more. And is it Krug or Krug? I'm not sure, but he's definitely going to pick up his play. I think he's a really good defenseman. He's coming off that injury. I think it's normal to have a little rust, so he's going to be fine. McQuaid, Miller, and Miller are all bottom pairing defensemen. That's what's kind of hurting the Bruins. Torrey is a good first pairing defenseman, but he's not an elite defenseman. He's not a first defenseman that teams have like Carlson Weber, Subban, Suter, and a lot more that I can name. And same for Jacob Trouba, even though he can become that guy, he isn't. So Boston doesn't have a legitimate first defenseman. Now I know here they do have Chara, who's 89 rated, but he doesn't deserve that rating whatsoever. So that's it for the Bruins. They missed the playoffs. Regardless of acquiring Jacob Trouba, I still think Don Sweeney should make this trade because Jacob Trouba will help out this team for a lot of years to come. And his value must be pretty low right now since he's kind of forcing Winnipeg's hand to move him. So probably a first-round pick, Malcolm Subban, and a decent prospect should do it. That's just my opinion. I don't even know if Subban has a value, though. He's been pretty darn terrible recently. So that's about it, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Boston Bruins should acquire Jacob Trouba? Do you think they should keep the defense that they have right now, and that'll be enough? Do you think they'll make the playoffs or not, regardless of the trade? So that's it, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and hope you enjoyed this video.